I had the wonderful privilege of visiting the Drum Barracks Museum for the annual Civil War Christmas celebration. Camp Drum wasn't just an army camp like dozens of others dotting the West Coast. It was the Union Army's headquarters for the District of Southern California in the Department of the Pacific throughout the war. There are only fragments that remain of what used to be a massive 17-building complex that housed as many as 2,500 Union soldiers at one time. The Drum Barracks Museum is housed in what used to be the Junior Officers Barracks. The rest of the complex has been converted into houses in the Wilmington district of Los Angeles. The Drum Barracks Civil War Museum hosts this annual Christmas event to spread holiday cheer and to educate the public about California's Civil War heritage. The horse-drawn carriages appeal to the kids, and when they come closer, they see guys in blue and gray uniforms holding these big, interesting Woodstock rifles. I really enjoyed the reenactors volunteering for the museum. They're very passionate about what they do, and they spend a lot of time and money doing this for the public's benefit. All you have to do is say hello, and then tell you all about their weapons, their uniform, and their gear.
This is modern technology. What I like about this gun, designed by Americans, manufactured by Americans, to kill Americans. How perfect was it? How you doing?
Good.
Did I show you inside my cannon before? Did I show you inside my cannon before? You want to see inside my cannon? Okay. Your head's about the right level, so let's push it down just a little bit. There we go.
Yes.
Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back. So I have to find the light. Here, I'll show you. And I grab the light from the sun, and I show it down the barrel. Lay right inside the gauge. Otherwise, you block the light. You see?
Yes.
Yep. So what they would do is they would boil it in coffee or water. Did they tell you about what happened? Well, all the weevils that would live in it and all the insects would float to the top. You have the option. You get the protein, you throw it out. But these things were hard. They were made by a company called the National Biscuit Company, or what we call Nabisco. Yep. So Nabisco made these a long time ago. The other thing that I always like to point out is baseball. They called it rounders. So they actually played baseball. They actually established it. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, we got it from you guys. Exactly.
And it's not just guys in military uniforms playing Johnny Reb or Billy Yank. There are reenactors doing living history portraying all aspects of life in the early 1860s, including civilian life. Here we see a surgeon demonstrating his brutal profession to onlookers.
The surgeon would clamp on, shove inside. Here's what happens inside. Push it along until it hits the big end. Open it up like scissors. Go around. This seems so simple, but before they had this, they had a metal ring with a cord on it, and they would try to take a probe and shove it down and get it around the tip of the arrow and then pull it up with it. Or if it's into a bone, you got to cut it out. Back then, they don't know about germs, so every time they took their dirty knife, it wouldn't be clean because they don't know. Every cut, more germs. After a while, you've got enough cuts, you're killing your patient just literally. Sir, what was my job title?
Sin eater.
Sin eater.
The sin eater would come in during the periods of time when the priests were not allowed to absolve sins, like during Lent. Okay? The person dies, if they die in their sins and aren't absolved, they're going to hell. The only way to save them is to bring in a sin eater who will eat food and beverage off from around the body, saying prayers and chants to, "Dear Lord, give me the sins of this person with this food I consume." And they would keep all the sins. Now the person is sin-free, they can go to heaven.
What about the person who ate all the sins?
Then there's the auxiliary to William F. Rosencrantz Chapter No. 2 of the Sons of Union Veterans. Their leader, Melanie Keynes, had a lot to teach me about women's contributions to the war effort on and off the battlefield. From female surgeons, to camp wives, to patriotic women back home fundraising for their husband or son's unit.
he's asked me to speak a little bit about Dr. Mary E. Walker. Dr. Walker was obviously female and was a contract doctor during the Civil War. Now, she had to be a contract doctor because obviously women were not allowed to join the military back then. So, being a contract doctor, she was on the battlefields, performed surgery, did everything a regular doctor did back in those days. She did love to tout the fact that she wore pants and a blouse, not your traditional women's attire of the day. She also was captured and served in a concentration camp. When they found out she was a doctor, they forced her to treat people in the concentration camp, basically. And she was then released in a prisoner exchange a couple months later. Mary Walker is the only woman to this day to receive the Medal of Honor in this country. Also, a couple months back, she has another honor. She is the first woman to have a military installation named after her.
No kidding.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
So that is a little bit of information on Dr. Mary E.
I was blown away by the folks at Bailey Denton Photography who are also portraying photographers of the early 1860s. Bailey Denton Photography is one of the few shops in the country that does old-fashioned, authentic tintype photography using only tech from the early 1860s.
Production 1860s swingback accordion style box camera. My lens is a Voigtlander from 1863 with hand ground glass, so it's all original. There's nothing on the inside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this shroud back on it. I'm going to take this cap off. And you can go ahead and go under the shroud and look through this ground glass, be about a foot back. I'm going to stand over here, and I want you to tell me what you see, okay? So look under there.
And look in like you're looking into a regular camera.
Look down.
You see it?
What do you think is interesting about that?
Oh, you're upside down. You're upside down.
She's upside down.
So I focus upside down and backwards. So if I was to take a picture, the drum barracks here would be reversed. And I actually have an example of that.
Their images look incredible.
This gentleman was standing right there. It says Civil War Museum guidance.
I was also very pleased to run into Dean Smith of the Los Angeles Civil War Roundtable. On this occasion, Dean was representing the Sons of Union veterans, Rosecrans Chapter No. 2. It was really neat seeing him teaching 10 and 12-year-old kids about what happened in America's most costly war. And by the way, I recently delivered a talk to the LA Civil War Roundtable about the war in California. Thank you, Dean, for the invite. And there was so much more to see that I can't show you. There were displays in every single room of the museum, but their policy is no indoor photography, so I respected that. All these cool images that I've just shared with you were all from the outside. I originally planned on being there for just an hour or two to grab some footage and then go on with my day. But I was having so much fun talking to people and checking out all the cool displays that I blinked and 5 hours had passed by. For anyone living in or traveling to the Los Angeles area, I highly recommend spending a few hours at the Drum Barracks. The American Civil War was much larger in reach and scope than just some battles on the East Coast. The war came here too, and it affected California and its people. The Golden State's contributions in money and manpower played a key role in the overall Union victory and in keeping the Western United States in the Union. I was born and raised in California, and I wish they taught us these things in school, because this is our heritage. Thank you for watching The Civil War, Wild West Edition. For more holiday-themed Civil War history, check out our video on wartime Christmas and Hanukkah in the Wild West, right here on this channel. If you want some heavy-duty Civil War history, you can check out my hour-long talk for the LA Civil War Roundtable, absolutely free. The link is in the description. And if you have friends that are interested in this niche of American history, feel free to share this channel with them. Merry Christmas to everyone, and Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Winter Solstice, and Happy Festivus for the rest of us, whichever one applies to you. And this holiday season, please be safe on the roads. I appreciate you folks, and I need you alive. Thanks for watching, and remember to hit like and subscribe. It really does help out this channel.